Thank you very much, Joe. I'm Eva Shok, supporter, joined here by Trevor, Quickshot, Henry, and we have a special guest analyst here as well, Nif from Alliance. Thank you very much for joining us.
Hello.
Well, I'm actually going to start by asking you what I heard the Fisho say there, and of course, the Kassadin being left open. Do you guys feel that Super Hot Crew tunneled on it too much and that ROCCAT had a perfect plan for it?
Maybe, yes. He's still really strong, and I think if they would have get a snowball or like one kill or something in the early game, they could have snowballed. But the game was really passing. I think the team was just too afraid to do anything, so it didn't work out for them.
Yeah, I also really liked seeing Alistar being pulled out from ROCCAT. It's something that we'd heard teams are trying in scrims and were playing. Interesting to see the Trinity Force into static shiv build, really focusing on controlling the waves and just taking advantage of that ultimate. Is it something that you've seen in scrims leading up to the playoffs? And what's your opinion on the Alistar top?
We have seen it once in the scrims, and it didn't work out there, so maybe they just needed a bit more time and practice it. I think the build is pretty good, actually. It gives him a lot of damage. The ulti gives him enough tank stats, and then later on you get the cooldown reduction, so you can have a lot of CC for the AD carries.
Let's actually take a look at the early game. So we saw the Kassadin pick coming out, and then actually what fans that are Super Hot Crew are afraid of is that Selfie won't be totally up to par when he comes into that game. And honestly, he did get caught out a couple of times. Do you think that set the tone for the rest of the game?
Yeah, you could see that they were too nervous, and they just need to break the ice and play how they usually play. And if they get to that point, then they can win the game. But if they keep doing this and keep asking why they lose, then they will not come back.
Yeah, I also feel like this particular matchup, ROCCAT dictated the pace. You know, if you go look at the early stages, Nif pointed out upstairs that ROCCAT had weak laners. You know, Renekton was going to be able to bully Alistar in that situation, and Tristan and Nami could theoretically have bullied around the Kog'Maw. But ROCCAT started the lane swap and pulled the lane swap off very effectively. It went in their favor. Do you want to expand about what ROCCAT did fairly well in that lane swap, or why you thought it was quite strong?
First of all, it was really good since they had like the losing top lane probably against Renekton, and the bot lane was slightly in favor for Super Hot Crew as well. So they had this lane swap, and then they also could stop the dragon with the teleport from Analyst down. So that was really good for them, and then they could just farm equal, and then they got later on the kill as well with the teleport.
Yeah, let's actually take a look at one of those dragon fights. Let's get that up on the screen, because it was already going in ROCCAT's favor, and then the strategy, as you said, worked out perfectly.
Yeah, let's actually roll this clip out. And if we were quite surprised at some decisions. What's your take on this fight?
Okay, Pela jumps in, tries to steal, doesn't get it, then he's in a really bad position. The team tries to collapse on them, but they can't really help him, and he dies. And then Mr. Wallace, he jumps in for no reason. He should just stay away and out-attack as much as he could. He probably could have get Kog'Maw, but he jumps in, and then he is in a really bad position. And then afterwards, ROCCAT has just to clean up because all of them were in a really horrible position. Kassadin can't do damage, and Renekton didn't really do too much as well since he just died after Kha'Zix died.
I really feel like this team fight summarizes the game very well. ROCCAT started the dragon, pulled Super Hot Crew towards him. Super Hot Crew scrappily engaged, and ROCCAT punished them for mistakes.
Well, looking forward to game 2. Let's break it down and see what both teams have to do. Maybe the Super Hot Crew, first of all. Is there something in picks and bans that they should drastically change?
Not necessarily. Maybe you want to ban the Alistar because you're not so comfortable against it. But that's pretty much it. I think it's more has to do with the mindset that they're on the right track. And if they do that, then they can win the game.
Yeah, I actually agree. Making positive plays as opposed to reacting to your opponents, that can help Super Hot Crew in this next game.
Yeah, and on the other side, ROCCAT, I mean, the thing that they might have been struggling with in the past, maybe the late game closing it out, nothing to see of that here. Very self-conscious.
Yeah, I actually think ROCCAT looked very good in this first game. I felt that Super Hot Crew were going to be the stronger of the teams coming into the series. And DeFicio did have a good point that Selfie and Kassadin has had struggles in the past, but he has had wins as well. And ROCCAT as a team, they've had counters to Kassadin, which have mixed results. I mean, they lost to Alliance's Kassadin. So ROCCAT seem to be confident, and we'll see if that confidence can carry through the rest of the series.
Yeah, we will see. And at the start of the show, we asked you guys to be the analysts yourselves and tell us which team do you think will win today and why. And here's what you had to say. The first one is from @ZeroKnas, #RockWin. They adapt faster to new patches and new OP champs and have a far better grasp of the jungle. Well, Alistair? Well, can't even pronounce it anymore. Great pick to start out with.
Yeah, just gotta agree with that. I think ROCCAT is really always up in the meta and knows what's really strong. And you could see in the Bunsen picks as well, they took out Maokai because they really know that's a really strong pick right now. And then they picked like Alistar, which you might think it might be a support pick, but then it's top Alistar. And it's really surprising for a lot of teams. It works out.
The second one is from @MelodyMeows, #SHGwin, because even if both teams are inconsistent, SHG have the higher skill ceiling. If Selfie doesn't panic, he will carry.
I absolutely love this tweet, and I completely agree with it. Had a discussion with some of the other guys upstairs and said that, in my mind, Super Hot Crew have a similar skill ceiling to the likes of Fnatic or Alliance, SK Gaming, but their skill floor is much lower. They don't hit the same consistent, strong basic level, and it just demonstrated itself in this first game.
Yeah, and the last one is from @SolbertLol. Super Hot Crew will win because they have the more talented players individually, and when they're ahead, they're really scary. But without team play, you ain't nothing.
Who do you think has the better individual players?
I would agree with Support Crew. I said before as well that I think Support Crew would win, but it's not the only point that matters, so it really depends how the other things went out too.
Yeah, we'll see in the rest of the series, of course. Thank you for sending those in. And remember to weigh in before each game with the team you think will win by tweeting @SHGwin or @ROCCAT to @LOL Esports. Now we have to take a quick break, but when we come back, the Super Hot Crew looks to even up the series in Game 2. Don't go anywhere.